Congratulations, Sabrina. You are 4 weeks along and in perfect health.
Oh, thank God.
If you don't mind me asking, where's the father?
Don't shush me. We aren't divorced yet, you tramp.
You know she's barren, right? She can't have kids.
Don't you dare forget, I'm not yours.
We're no longer together, actually.
Sabrina. Interesting look for a hospital visit.
Just some routine tests.
Need to find a different way to see Sabrina. Find out how she got my dad to give her the mansion.
Why can't you see what she's doing? She wants you to wonder about her, Chris. She's messing with your head, and it's working.
Don't talk to me like that. Just sit quietly and look pretty.
Sabrina's not giving up the mansion.
What?
You know what you have to do.
I need you to get your hands on her records for me.
Chris, come on.
I've missed you, Sabrina.
Brenda lay awake, her eyes fixed on the ceiling, her rage simmering beneath the surface. Chris had whispered her name again, Sabrina. Even in his dreams, he still longed for his wife. But not for long. Brenda had worked too hard to let this slip away now. Chris had been easy to lure in, weak, desperate, and blinded by the one thing Sabrina could never give him, a child. Brenda had played her role flawlessly, the devoted mistress, the understanding woman who stood by him as his marriage crumbled. And when the time was right, she had secured her future by getting pregnant. Now, he was hesitating. He needed time? No. He needed her. He needed to understand that there was no turning back. If she pushed too hard, he might resist. If she played helpless, he'd feel guilty. And guilt was a powerful weapon. She turned to him, voice soft, just the right amount of fragility. Their child, their future, his reputation. Did he really want a bastard child? What would people say? Chris groaned, running a hand through his hair. Good. He was unraveling. She just had to keep pushing. Brenda's lips curled into a smirk as she watched him struggle. He belonged to her now. His wealth, his name, his entire life. And if Sabrina's memory still lingered in his mind, she'd make sure to erase it. Permanently. Brenda's frustration boiled beneath the surface. Chris was slipping through her fingers, and she could feel it. He had promised her love, but it wasn't enough. Not when he still refused to let go of his old ways. She had tried to set boundaries, but Chris laughed them off. Fidelity wasn't something he could offer, he had told her. He was a man with needs. And yet, he still claimed to love her. She played along, masking her anger with a sweet smile. She had to be careful. But when he asked her to sleep in the other room, it took everything in her not to lash out. He wanted space. Fine, she would give him space, just enough to make him think he was still in control. The next morning, Brenda woke up alone. Chris had already left for work, not even bothering to tell her. Insecurity clawed at her. She refused to be ignored. She called him, only to be met with an insufferable assistant who refused to acknowledge her as Chris's fiancée. The woman even had the audacity to mention his wife, Sabrina. The name made Brenda's blood boil. How dare they treat her like this? Fury propelled her to his office, a carefully prepared meal in hand, Chris's favorite. She would remind him why he needed her, but the moment she arrived, the assistant blocked her path, turning up her nose at Brenda's presence. The condescending tone, the dismissive attitude, it sent Brenda into a blind rage. She pushed her way through, ignoring the protests. Let them call security. She would deal with them later. But what she saw inside made her stomach twist. Chris was with another woman. The betrayal hit her like a slap. She had fought so hard, manipulated so carefully, and yet here he was, slipping through her grasp. What she had done to Sabrina was now happening to her. She could feel the judgment in the assistant's eyes, the way she looked down on her like she was nothing. Not this time. Brenda wouldn't lose. Not to them. she started thinking about another evil plan to get control.
Hey, I'm Sabrina. If you're wondering what happens next, download the Pocket FM app now and listen to the exciting episodes of Lose You to Love Me.